guys, good afternoon. Arlene here. How are you doing today? So as you can see, I'm inside the house. This is our living room, and since there's an enhanced community quarantine in the Luzon area, so I decided to stay at home for the next 14 days. I don't know whether I can beat it. But so far, I have been staying inside the house for the last 5 days. The last time I was outside was March 12, and now it's already March 17. So it means that I have been home in the last 5 days. Okay. So what are the latest update about this lockdown in Manila and about the enhanced community quarantine in Luzon area, and what are the updates here, how the people are reacting about this. So let me tell you something, because I have been talking to my family and friends, and I am very much active when it comes to group chat on Messenger, because I'm really concerned about the whole situation, right? So this is pretty alarming for me, especially like, you know what if something bad, what if I catch the virus, what should I do, right? So because I feel something like that, so I messaged my friend. He's a doctor, and I asked him. I said, "Doc, what can I do, if or to prevent myself from contacting the coronavirus?" And actually, he told me that, Arlene, it's just pretty simple. It's pretty easy. First things first, whenever you're going outside, you have to wear your mask. So luckily, I have my mask. I have actually N95 mask. Um, so far, I still have, and I have the simple mask which you can get from any supermarket or drugstores. Unfortunately, you cannot get it anywhere now. So not even alcohols or sanitizers, right? So first things first, you have to wear mask at all times whenever you're outside. And second, since I have very long hair, he said you have to tie your hair, whenever you're outside, and don't use your hand to touch your hair, that's the purpose that I have to, like he said, I have to ponytail my hair, something like that. It will not touch my face. So okay, then I get it. And he said as well, it is much better if you will not wear jewelries outside, because the virus can also stick on your jewelries, that like a necklace or bracelets or watches, because watches, you have this big band, and I'm pretty sure none of us are cleaning our watches whenever we arrived home, right? We are not doing that. We are just, taking it off and put it somewhere on the table, but others, they are also not taking it off. And then he said as well, like, whenever I do something, I have to wash my hands with or hand wash or sanitizer or alcohol, especially when I'm touching money. The moment you touch money, then you have to wash your hands with soap, alcohol, or sanitizer. And stay at home. That is the reason why we have this enhanced community quarantine all over Luzon area. So there are so many rules and regulation about that, and let me check, because I cannot memorize everything. So it says here, okay, so enhanced guidelines on the impositions of community quarantine all over entire Luzon, effective midnight of March 17, 2020, and expiring on April 13, 2020. So it's starting tonight, 12:01. Okay. Oh, 17. No, then it's already started this morning. Sorry, I was wrong. Okay. So here, classes in all levels are suspended until April 14. That is, we already know about it. And then mass gatherings are prohibited, so there are no more, I think, for example, like, graduations or something. Normally here in the Philippines, when your child graduated elementary, high school, or college, then you are so much into celebrating, right? So at the moment, it's not allowed because too many people, there's a possibility that you will have a contact with somebody who are asymptomatic of the virus. Asymptomatic means that, they are not showing any symptoms that they have the virus, but they have the virus. So it means that their immune system is very healthy, but what if you are not healthy? Then you will get the virus, right? And then a strict home quarantine in all household movements limited to accessing food and essential health services. So the government is really pushing people to stay indoors. That is the best thing to do. Then heightened presence of uniformed personnel. I'm not sure. I think the reason for this is because there are still a lot of people who are not aware, or it's not yet sinking into their mind the urgency and the need to quarantine ourselves into our home. They are just, oh, it's just flu or something, but to get sick and hospitalized, that is another story. Maybe they are not aware the impact of this coronavirus on our health, on our community, in the economic and the private sectors, in the business sectors, so maybe, I'm not so sure. Next, work from home for executive department except for other critical services like PNP. Okay, so our policemen, our military have to work, and our doctors and hospital and nurses are working non-stop there because they are the frontliners in this we call it very trying times or tough times. And I know as well some friends, they have like businesses, and they ask their workers like only to come one time per week, and I'm not so sure, but I received a message as well that instead of giving the 13-month pay during November and December, then they are giving it in advance, like at this time, because a lot of people will not be working. So where they gonna get the money to spend, right? You have to eat like 3 times a day, and I think more, because yeah, no, what you can do, right? You are only allowed to stay indoors. And actually, I got a message from my sister, and I asked them, guys, how are you doing? Are you okay? And they said, yeah, we are okay, but the food stock is getting low because the kids are eating a lot. Of course, that is understandable, right? When there are kids and they have nothing to eat, and no, they have nothing much better to do, right? You are staying indoors, and television, what can you watch on TV, right? So they tend to, yeah, most probably play on their phones and eat all the time. So that is normal. And then BPOs and export-oriented industries remains operational subject by 18 March 2020. All employees have to be provided temporary housing by employers. So it's up to them whether they will provide housing for their employees or not. If not, then they have to stay home. Media personnel to be allowed travel within contained area if they secure ID from the PCCO within 72 hours. So that's really, you have to get the proper license and permit. Mass public transport facilities shall be suspended. This is, how can I say, this is bad. I know it's for the safety. I know it's for the containment of the virus, that nobody gets spread or something. But I'm thinking, like, for example, like, people who have no cars, or who have no tricycles or jeepneys or scooters or motorcycles, like my family. But of course, our neighbors there, they have their motorcycles, so it's okay. But what if you don't have any of that? And then I think to reach the nearest pharmacy or grocery to get something, then you have to walk, right? I'm sorry, I don't know. Next, land, air, sea travel will be restricted. Outbound passengers from any airport in Luzon within can stay only 72 hours. Inbound transit shall be allowed entry applicable to quarantine procedures. So they have a lot of rules here. And movement of cargoes within and from Luzon shall be unhampered. DOTR will be issuing guidelines. All movements for medicine shall be allowed. Departments will formulate guidelines for social amelioration. Measures include moratorium on rent, reprieve on utility vehicles, assistance to MSE, 13-month pay release, that's what I told you, food assistance to most needy. So it means that, okay, for example, you are renting, then you can get like, okay, you don't have to pay this month, but you have to pay next month, something like that. And utility vehicle. So I got a message from Globe about this. Like Globe said that in these trying times of COVID-19 virus, um, what is it? Uh, well, yep. We are to help you remain connected with your loved ones. We are giving all Globe postpaid, including business and enterprise customer nationwide, a 30-day bill payment extension for your due date. So it means that I don't have to pay now, but I already paid. So, but I can have like 30 days more than I have to pay next month because of this. And yeah, they are closed. And food assistance to most needy. So this has something to do with the local government units, like the municipal working together with the barangay officials. So they have to identify uh, the how can I say, the beneficiaries which need most assistance when it comes to food and that stuff. And I heard from my sister as well that they are monitoring who among the people in the barangay have been traveling to Manila the last 14 days, to check, and who are showing symptoms and that stuff, because at the moment some hospitals actually they don't have the testing kit for this coronavirus, right? Or they have, but it's not enough. And then failure to abide will have criminal and administrative punishment. DOJ will make appropriate charges for those who do not follow. So that is pretty heavy stuff considering. So yeah, how can I say, this is one of the tough times I had experienced actually. And even at this point in time, I would like to be closer to my family, but for me it's just like I'm safer to be alone because my immune system is not that good. So I prefer staying at home alone and do self quarantine myself, even though I'm not having any fevers at all. I just want to stay safe. So but of course I know in the coming days I have to go out because I'm running out of alcohol and I'm running out of rice is, rice is the staple food. Actually it's not for me, but Otto has to eat some rice, and we need some chicken feeds and ducks feed for our chicken. So I have to go out. But what I have to do is I just simply have to wear my mask. I have to bring my sanitizer and alcohol with me, and from after I've done my stuff, I have just to drive home, and that's it. And then by touching money, every time I touch money, I have to sanitize myself, my hands, of course. So that's it. In these trying times, tough times, guys, let's stay safe, let's contain the virus, and I'm suggesting anybody or everybody, so please stay indoors. That is the best for us. It's not easy to get sick, especially, I read a letter from one of these Filipina who is in Italy, and she said that when you have the coronavirus, you will die alone. I think that is true, because when you have the virus, there will, how can your family get closer to you, because they are scared to get the virus themselves, right? So that is something we don't want to happen, right? It's different when you die because of heart attack or something, then everybody will be there, paying their respects. But if you die because of coronavirus and because we are stubborn and we are not following the rules, then it's another story, right? So I'm not scaring you guys. I'm just trying, let's stay safe, and let's pray that we will overcome this, okay? So together with clear head and following rules, which is best for us, which is safe for us. So thank you so much guys for watching. Till next time, don't forget to subscribe. Bye!